about to leave for holidays, and I didn't want to tell the boys because I didn't want to ruin their holiday. So I kept that knowledge with me, the knowledge that the cancer had spread to one lung and to my liver as we left on holidays for BC. So my son and I decided to stop at Crazy Creek, which is some swimming pools that you can go and swim in on your drive down from BC back to Alberta. So we pulled in and we stopped there, and the sun was shining so bright. It was the bluest sky, and I knew that I had to tell him at some point because he doesn't do well finding out from other people. I needed to tell him myself. We were swimming together in the pool, and I looked at him and I said, "Max, there's one more thing I have to tell you before we go." And he knew right away. When he looked at my face, he knew that it was bad news, and he said, "Mom, it's back, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah, they think that it's back." And he swore and dove under the water. And when he came back up from the water, I said to him, "You shouldn't swear," because that's what we say in my family. Please don't use swear words. And I was raised not to use swear words, but he said to me, "Mom, what else am I supposed to say right now? This is a very serious moment." And he kept diving under the water and coming back up, and diving under the water and coming back up. And he said, "Mom, can you hear me under the water?" I said, "No, I can't hear you." And he said, "Put your head under the water." So I put my head under the water, and I could hear a sound. There was bubbles coming out of his mouth, and we both splashed back up above the surface of the water. And he said, "Could you hear me?" And he started to laugh. He said, "I'm swearing under the water." I said, "You're doing what?" He said, "I'm swearing under the water." And he said, "You should try it. It's very, it's a good release, Mom. You should try swearing under the water." So we both stuck our heads under the water, and we were swearing under the water as loud as we could. And we came back up, and we were laughing and laughing. And in that moment, when we came up from the water, and I just looked at his eyes, and you know, the sun was sparkling off the surface of the water. It was so beautiful and so poignant, and I knew I would remember that moment for the rest of my life, because it was the moment that I successfully managed some terrible information, and I told it to my child in a way that he could handle it, and he dealt with it in the best way that he knew how. And we managed that. You know, sometimes things seem unmanageable when you're living with stage 4 cancer. It seems impossible to be able to tell your children that the cancer's back, or it seems impossible that you're going to feel good again after chemo, or it seems impossible that you're ever going to get past this stage. But there are possibilities within that, and they're little beautiful moments, poignant moments that I share with my kids, and these are the things that keep me going.